You remember the FlySAfair lady, Nobuntu Mkhize, brand manager of SABC? She had a sit down recently, and looking at her, I must tell you, she doesn't look remorseful at all.
I was not intoxicated. We did arrive at the airport. My partner and I went to the slow lounge. We ordered some dinner, and I think we had like 1 or 2 drinks, and that was it, which is what some of the media people have used in terms of the picture to actually write articles. The picture where we were like, cheers guys, happy new year, you know, we all are headed to 2025 because it was just literally after Christmas, and that was it. So having a drink or 2 at the slow lounge while you're waiting to board, I don't think that is considered being drunk to start off with. The aeroplanes themselves, or should I say, they serve alcohol inside like the aeroplane. So if you are drunk, I think you are considered to not be able to conduct yourself. So what actually happened was we then boarded, and as you can see from where we were sitting right back, you know, of the flight. There were, I think, 3 people behind us, and then it was us in front. I was actually seated by the window, which is actually quite interesting because when everything happened and the attack took place, I was seated right by the window, and then my partner was seated in the middle seat, and then there was a young little boy seated by the aisle. She came out, the flight attendant, she started serving refreshments. She started with the seat behind us, she served them, and then she got to us. She asked, what are you guys going to have? I asked her, I said, what kind of wines do you guys have? You know, and then she took out a little can, which I had never seen, and she was like, here, have Mellow. And she said it in Xhosa. And I said to her, no, I don't want to have Mellow because I'm still traveling and all of that. You know, you still need to check in, go to the hotel, get your bags. You need to still be, you know, very, very focused in doing all of that when you're traveling. So I asked, I said, do you have like a Sauvignon Blanc, or maybe do you have like a Cabernet? And then she said, no. And she said it in Xhosa. She's like, have this. And I think that's where I got a bit shocked, you know, being a brand specialist by profession and understanding the importance of service and options and actually, you know, because I'm paying for it. If I was flying, let's say, Emirates, or I'm flying, let's say, you know, like British Airways or something, or even South African. Disagreement actually stemmed from the fact that she refused to sort of like give me an option of what I wanted or to actually serve me. It's an alcoholic beverage, but what I was asking her is that I don't want a Mellow, because if you like drink Mellow like red wine and you understand, it's a bit heavy, especially when you're still traveling and you still need to be focused. But for me to say, do you have a Sauvignon Blanc or do you have, let's say, a Cabernet? For me, I just wanted like something light, you know, it's like how you have like a glass of light white wine with fish and stuff and you take it, but red wine is like quite heavy. I think she first said, have this. I said, no, I don't want. I asked her for the different options. She said, no, but I'm like in close and I have. And then I looked at her and I said, no. When you're at a restaurant, for instance, at Spur, for instance, and they serve you your steak or they serve you your ribs and they're not done properly, you've got the right as a customer and as a consumer, like sales 101, everybody knows the customer is always right. Then said to her, can I have the menu then? Because you cannot be telling me what I must have. Because she was insisting to say, no, have this. And then I said, I don't want that. It escalated when she then said, I will not serve you. And then she pushed the trolley. And then I was actually very, very much overwhelmed. I was like, since when? First of all, since when do air hostesses force people to have a certain type of food or drink? And then on top of that, you are telling me that you're not going to serve me. So that's when it started. I was a bit overwhelmed and how dare you say you're not going to serve me and stuff, you know? And then I said, excuse me. She decided to carry on walking. And then the people that were also sitting there, they're like, excuse us, you can't just like, you know, walk on. That's when the noise started. Then she went to the back, you know, of the plane, like the corporate and stuff. So I thought to myself, okay, maybe she's going to get the menu and maybe she's going to check the different options and she'll come back and let me know. The next thing she came back with the other air hostesses, and then the attack started, and then there was the back and forth, and then they started insulting me, they started shouting, they started talking. And then it was the 3 hostesses, like the air hostesses. Yeah, it was the tall girl, and then the other 2, the other 2 air hostesses. And then there was just like a spat. You know how women would actually be fighting over a man, or like a kind of catchy fight. And I was just like overwhelmed, and everybody was like, oh. And that's when I was like, but you cannot do that. Then they were like, no. Then there was a back and forth, the noise, the voices. Then people started realizing what's going on as well. And then that's when, you know, everything.
What is your designation?
The pilot.
She can never be a pilot. This one.
Yeah, you can be a human being.
I'd like to take this opportunity actually to apologize to the colored community, because that's not who I am, and I was not raised like that, and I do not believe in such whatever that was said. So when the attack happened, and then the back and forth, and then after that, the guys like that you were talking about, there were men all over. They had cable tires. They strangled me. The one came from the back. I mean, if you see the beginning of the videos and how everything transpired, to a point where there's like a group of aviation lawyers that approached me on Twitter that actually wrote it step by step that, you know what, if you want to sue the airline, you can, because A, B, C, D, E, F was wrong. How did the cable tires come in? I did say, like, you know, whatever, you colored from Mitchell's Plain kind of thing, you know, you don't even have a degree or whatever. And yeah, you're going to be taking a taxi, I'm going to take an Uber, because I was so upset. As much as I'm saying that I do apologize sincerely to the colored community, because it's like, you know, we are a rainbow nation country. We all tease each other. But in that context, I think it was wrong. And I would like to apologize, because colored people are educated. I've got colored friends. I'm not racist. And again, our constitution, I don't think can actually also identify that as racism. Again, I think a lot of people were questioning this even on social media, because clearly everybody's been run by social media in this country. But the question was, what made that statement to be racist? I might have said it out of anger. It was girls fighting. It was they had attacked me. It was self-defense. They had me on the floor. The abuse that I received on social media, the bullying, even from a political leader of this country who actually defamation of character to another level. He himself was racist on that, whatever, Kenny Gunene. You know, when he was going on saying, like, in fact, I decided to wear the same wig today just so that the country can see that wig that he was going on. Cheap wig. She just woke up and she just like took a vast slap and she washed her face. But you must listen to that clip and that interview that he did. I don't know how many times he mentions the word pretty girls, beautiful girls, beautiful girls, referring to the colored girls that were attacking me on the flight. And then he then says the colored girls are actually better because they've got mixed blood. The one thing that people forget is that in marketing, in advertising, in whatever, PR is PR. Whether it's bad or good, if it's bad PR, turn it around and try make good of it and stuff, because whatever that has happened, it's happened. It's PR at the end of the day. So the abuse mentally, emotionally, everything that just happened on social media without verification. I am suing the airline and I'm suing SAPS. So on what grounds is to answer your question? I was appalled, and I'm still appalled. I think that's why people end up committing suicide. That is why people end up, I'm happy that even now there's so much content that has come out in like your Netflix and stuff, where people are actually understanding the danger of like social media and how people can just cyberbully you and stuff without verification. Especially for my employer also, which is the South African Broadcasting Corporation of this country. How dare they? They have fired me. They have fired me without doing an investigation. They have fired me without even giving me a phone call. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And that is why I'm saying that I'm appalled, because the SABC, their code of conduct, is approved by the board. The board reports to the cabinet. The cabinet reports to the president. So how dare they do this, which is very like unethical. It's not even according to like the Labor Relations Act. I'm appalled. They've never even given me a call till today. I'm just so appalled. They call themselves the South African Broadcasting Impartial Independent, but then they're the ones that fueled and put fire into those videos. I never said I work for the SABC. I stood up under so much anger and, you know, self-defense, like I say. And I said, do you know who my father is? Which again, unfortunately, trended because people thought that I was making myself all better. But I was trying to summarize the fact that I grew up in a media home. When you see the beginning of how the video started, I tell them that this is against the law. This is illegal. After them, they strangled me. They tried to put cable tires. How do you put cable tires on a woman that was sitting right on the window seat? The fact that they were they pinned to a point where I saw clouds. You know when a man hits you, let's say you're sitting in a car and you're driving around in the hood. Imagine now you're up in the air. I had never been a violent person. But when I got up from the floor to actually realize that I'm even embarrassed myself to watch those videos because I don't recognize that person. I do not recognize that person. But the fact that I went into such animal mode, like I said, it was self-defense, and I think I was in trauma mode. I could have handled the situation better.